Hi everyone, I'm Julia here at Finishing Technologies. Welcome back to the spray booth. Rolled media filter blankets, long and wide pieces of paint booth filter material, are often used in spray booths instead of pads like these behind me. Blankets offer increased efficiency since they tend to have fewer areas for particles to bypass them due to poor installation, dog-eared sagging, or damaged grids to which pads can sometimes be prone. Blankets are also sometimes used as a sacrificial pre-filter to catch larger particles before the airstream reaches the more expensive filters behind them. A common problem with converting to or using blankets is in having a simple way to hang them. Blankets get heavy as they load, sometimes falling off or otherwise losing the good seal around the exhaust plenum. Air follows the path of least resistance and can bypass poorly installed blankets, which defeats the purpose of the filter. Getting around this problem is solved with a FilterLoc retention system provided by Finishing Technologies. The FilterLoc system is comprised of 40-inch retainer sections that are affixed to the side of your exhaust system. This tool, much like a pizza cutter, is used to zip the filters into place, either at the top where the blankets can hang, or even better, completely sealing the perimeter of the exhaust opening with no air leaks along the entire perimeter. To use the FilterLoc system, you will need space on all sides where the retaining sections are to be installed. This can also include the bottom of the plenum. But if you do not have space to attach the sections, a slight blanket overhang will work too. Each retainer section is 40 inches long and is made to span across common 20-inch filter grids like the one behind me. Therefore, one filter retainer will span two of these grids. However, the sections can easily be cut to accommodate just about any booth. Now let's talk about installation. To begin, measure the width and the height of your booth's exhaust plenum. That number divided by 40 inches gives you how many of the retainer sections you will need. Round up if you have a number that does not divide by 40. This means you will need to cut one of the sections. Next, you will need a few things to install the system into your booth. A drill with a hex driver attached, a tape measure, some large shears for cutting your filter blanket to size, the FilterLoc sections with Tech screws, and the FilterLoc tool. You may also need a hacksaw to trim the sections if necessary. Begin by placing a FilterLoc section at the bottom of the exhaust chamber. Install one screw within an inch or two of each end of the section and one screw in the middle. You might opt to install more screws if desired for each subsequent section, butt the ends up as tight as you can and as evenly as possible, and secure the next section as you did the first, being sure that each section aligns with the edge of the exhaust plenum frame. At the corners where the top or the bottom meets up with the sides, be sure and leave the corner open so that the FilterLoc tool can pass through each section in order to properly install the filter blanket media. But don't leave too much of a gap in order to maintain a proper seal at the corners. Cut your sections to fit any area properly where needed. Filter blankets sold by Finishing Technologies are usually wide enough to accommodate a 40-inch wide section of your exhaust plenum with some extra to overhang. Where necessary, install FilterLoc sections at these 40-inch intervals down the middle of the exhaust plenum. Booths that have a grid system or that do not have a center frame will need to have a flat aluminum or steel bracket installed, to which you can connect the FilterLoc sections. If you have an existing grid system, you might consider flipping the grids around so that they face outward in order to help keep the blanket media from being drawn into the grid voids as the filters load. Once the sections are installed properly, you will have a grid system that surrounds your entire exhaust and is ready for filter blanket installation. Begin filter media installation by installing the blankets at the top using the FilterLoc tool. If the blanket extends past the bottom of the plenum, use the shears to trim the filter to fit. Leave a few inches extended out into the floor to help catch paint runoff. In booths where 2 blankets are necessary to seal the plenum, there should be at least 2 inches of overlap between the 2 blankets to properly seal the center section, with some overlap on either side, plus at least 2 inches at the bottom. Once the blankets are installed at the top, pull the filter to the desired tension and run the FilterLoc installation tool through the entire section so that the filter media is retained inside the channel. Do this on both sides and down the center where the blankets overlap and along the bottom if available. We recommend that you test your install by gently tugging along the sides to ensure the filter media is secured inside the FilterLoc channels. The best seal is achieved if the blankets are taut. If you didn't have space to install the FilterLoc sections along the bottom, the tight fit along the sides and a 2-inch overhang at the bottom should be adequate to seal here. The FilterLoc system provided by Finishing Technology solves filter blanket air bypass problems and is an inexpensive and simple solution that easily installs on nearly any paint booth. If you have any questions or would like to order, please call our office or visit our website. Thank you for tuning in today, and we're so glad to have you as a customer. From all of us here at Finishing Technologies, we'll see you next time. The best seal is achieved if the blankets are taut.
Great. I just wanted to make sure there was a clap.
It's a weird word!